Okay, let's talk Doctor Who. With the new season of Doctor Who just around the corner, I thought it would be fun to make a video about 6 things I want to see in Season 2/Series 15/season, whatever you want to call it, the new one. We're talking about the new one. And we're talking about what I want to see, not just as a fan, but also trying to keep in mind what I think would appeal to a more general audience. Starting with number 1, more monsters. I'll cover this quickly as it's basically the point of my last video, so if you want to hear me talk about this more in depth, please go and watch that one. I think it's quite good, but this is definitely the main thing I want from the new series. I think monsters is one of, if not the main appeal for casual viewers, and I think they need to be front and centre of this season, not just in terms of plot, but also in the marketing. Lately, marketing has kind of sidestepped the monster element of Doctor Who, and I think that's a massive shame. The aliens and creatures are what will get kids excited, and let's be honest, they're the ones who will force the family to watch it on a Saturday night, so tailoring a little bit to them is never a bad idea. I think one series that balanced this well was Series 5. It had a great arc throughout the series, but it had monsters front and centre of the action and the marketing. The Series 5 trailer still holds up even today. Number 2, make it scarier. With more monsters, give me more scares. The phrase watching from behind the sofa is attached to this show, so let's make it count. Now, I'm not saying let's terrorise children, but the odd fright never hurt anyone. Also, kids love to be scared. I was 4 years old when The Unquiet Dead came out, and it terrified me, but I loved that. When that old lady jumped out of the coffin, I screamed, I definitely cried, but I was desperate to watch next week's. And I'm not saying turn Doctor Who into an all-out horror show, you want to keep the whimsy and the magic, but just occasionally up those horror elements. And if we're being honest, it's the creepier episodes that usually stick in people's minds. Most people, even if they haven't seen the show in years, still remember the gas mask zombies or the weeping angels, just like they do the Daleks and the Cybermen. So let's up the horror. And if you really want brownie points, give me gothic horror. Doctor Who with the vibe of Crimson Peak would be my ultimate tone. Inject it into my veins, it's all I want. Please, Russell, and thank you. Number 3, a stronger Doctor and companion dynamic. Okay, look, I know this isn't exactly an original comment, but I think it's worth mentioning. It's pretty much agreed among fans that the dynamic between 15 and Ruby wasn't exactly the strongest we've ever had in the show. And I'm not even saying this is a massive criticism, there was definitely something quite charming about their friendship, and I think a longer series may have fixed some of the pacing issues. However, due to the reduced episode count, their relationship definitely felt rushed, and we never quite understood why they became such close friends so quickly. Also, this forced closeness kind of robbed us of any confrontation between the two. Some of the best scenes in modern Doctor Who have come from the Doctor and companion challenging each other, exploring the other's morals and realising what it means to be human and be alien. And this isn't me saying every episode needs to be them having a Barney.
You bitch! You cow!
But just something that defines their relationship a little more than just thrown together friends. From the little we've seen of Season 2, and I still don't like calling it Season 2, damn you Mickey Mouse, it does look like we're going to get more confrontation between the Doctor and companion, and I think that's a massive bonus. I've got really high hopes for Belinda as a companion, and I'm really excited to explore her character. Number 4, Anita Dobson, Mrs. Flood. I'm almost certain we're getting this, so thank you Russell and co, because we need it. Anita Dobson is a great actress, and from the little screen time we've had of her, it's obvious she's having so much fun in the role, so let's get more of her. I really hope whoever Mrs. Flood turns out to be, the part gives Anita Dobson something to really get her teeth into. She's an iconic soap actress, so let her chew up that scenery and spit it back out. Doctor Who has always been a bit camp, and there's no denying that, so evil Anita Dobson would fit the Whoniverse like a glove. However, on top of this, the story needs to stick the landing. After the controversial resolution of Ruby's story, the Mrs. Flood arc needs to satisfy both long life fans and general viewers. Bonus points if it doesn't involve a street sign. Number 5, cement 15 as a character. Now, I don't know if I'm alone in this one, but I still don't really know who 15 is as a character. There's traits there I can see. He's more openly emotional and less closed off as, say, 12 or 9 ever was, but that's kind of it. I don't know what makes 15 tick. I don't know what keeps them awake at night, what makes them laugh or want to sing. I feel like we've only scratched the surface of Ncuti's potential in this role, and I really hope we get to know his Doctor on a deeper level. One of the greatest character traits the Doctor has, which has kind of been missing recently, is that hidden fury. This rage that bubbles underneath, that comes out usually in the worst moments. There's always the promise of darkness with the Doctor. He's the hero, but that's because he chooses to be. If he ever slipped the other way, it'd be carnage. I want to see this side of 15, and I think Ncuti would deliver this brilliantly. And this kind of perfectly brings me on to my last point, which is number 6, up the stakes and make me cry. Now, bigger doesn't always mean better, and I think recent Doctor Who has fallen into this trap. I don't need to see another end of the universe, we get it. The universe ends every year. At this point, it's almost become traditional, like Christmas crackers or the Sun newspaper being written by bigots. So when I say up the stakes, I don't mean in terms of world-shattering events, I mean more in terms of tension and what events do to our characters on an emotional level. Give me a little band of characters, let me grow to love them in a short amount of time before horrifically killing them off one by one. Have characters that we care for have to make impossible sacrifices, which then stay with them for the rest of their time on the show. Unlike all my points, this one is incredibly subjective, and maybe you're watching this thinking I'm insane for feeling that this has been missing. And if so, that's great. Please let me know in the comments what you disagree with. There's one thing I love is a good old natter, so that is incredibly welcome. But I personally haven't feared for these characters in a long time, and I haven't necessarily been moved by any storyline either. Basically, I'm giving Russell and co permission to break my heart. I want them to break my heart, ruin my weekend, ruin my life, thank you kindly. And that's it. 6 things I want to see in the next season. Now, I'm sure I've missed loads, so please comment below if there's anything you want to see in season 2, and we can have a good old chat down there. Also, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to keep up to date with more videos coming out. I'm hoping to get a lot more out soon, some on topics other than Doctor Who, plus some stuff about screenwriting and script analysis, so if that's your kind of thing, do keep an eye out. So thank you for watching, and in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with one of my favourite background characters to ever grace the Whoniverse.
Don't be ridiculous. The biggest danger here is choking on an olive.